Good day. Hello. Stopping in to say hello. Been away for a while, but in for today, and just wanted to come in and talk a little bit about the energy update and see what we have happening. But I am watching to make sure we have some people in here. It is middle of the day, so not always people in here at this time. And to see, oh, thank you. Hello, Felicia. I want to make sure I'm on. So yeah, okay. So I should be on YouTube as well. So this is on YouTube and Facebook. Hello, Beth. So nice to see you, ladies. Just stopping in for a short moment. I was just about to get ready to go get groceries. Me too, Felicia. That's what I gotta go do. I gotta go get groceries, and I'm like, but I kind of have been dragging a little bit, and I've been fighting off a. I've been ill all week, so I've been kind of putting off having to go do something. So today I'm a little bit better, and today I have to do it. So, and Beth, you too? It's grocery day. All right. So excuse the outside noises. We have to have some outside noises. I cannot close the windows. It is crazy hot here in my house. But I was just waiting for some people to come in. Got some exciting things to share today. A lot of things I'd love to share, and I still can't share. There's a lot of things happening right now, and I feel like there's a lot of things happening in my life, and there's a lot of things happening in the energy, and there's a lot of shifts happening, and I have not had a voice that I've had to share. I've had to save my voice for all my clients and for working with all those prepaid, all those pre-recorded videos that I do for that are on that summer special. So let me start with that. So until July the 15th, you can still purchase an emailed video reading. And that is, you can purchase a 2, 3, or 5 card reading. And it's a 20% savings. And you just got to use the summertime 20% code. It is on the Facebook page. The link it's also on Instagram. I didn't put it on YouTube, but it is, I'll put it in. So it's all capital letters, summertime, 20%. If you go into my services, go emailed video reading, and you can get 20% off the 2, 3, or 5 card emailed readings. Nothing goes out during the weekend, just saying. If you order today, you will not get it until Monday. They are done in order of purchase. And so I have, and that offer is good until July the 15th. And those are a huge success. I just completed the last one today on the list, so I am now fully free to take a whole nother batch of them. And if you want to purchase one of those, you go to the website, go to CorrieThorne.com, and go into services. And when you go into services, click on the emailed readings. And I think gift certificate might come up first, but below it will be the emailed readings, and then you put in the coupons, summertime, all capital letters, summertime 20%, and it'll take off it'll give you the 20% discount. And so I think the normal price I just did this for somebody else, so why I know the price. So the 5 card readings, $160, and with the discount, it comes down to $128. Now it is lower price for the other 2 readings as well, but it gives you an opportunity to get an emailed video from me. The emails are sent out through WeTransfer, so you just download your link and you get to keep your video of your reading. And they are hugely successful, and people love them. So you can get those until the 15th. Also available is my July schedule, and it is limited. I have a lot of things happening in July in my own personal life. And so July and August, I'm only available very limited for one-on-one video readings or Zoom readings and phone readings. So if you want those spaces, I suggest you get yourself booked in, because it is extremely limited. And so that's also available still for then. And then I'll be back again in September. But I got a big announcement today, and now I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit here, but you may have seen the pictures. So I want to talk a little bit about this. Number one, my More Than Existing book has been revised. This is the new More Than Existing book. If you order on Amazon, it should look like this when you order it. Do not order it from any other site. Order only from the Amazon or from me directly from the website, because I took back all of the rights to More Than Existing and we republished it, and we did some Lisa did some editing in here as well. And so this is a revised version. It is now big print, and it is a 300-page book now. And so this is now a much bigger book. It'll have the white on the top, and you should be purchasing directly from me, like from the Amazon. If you're on Amazon, it will be from me actually selling the book on Amazon, not from a company in the UK, not from anyone else. That should all be taken down. I'm not sure if it is, and they charge astronomical fees on it, like shipping, which was nuts and crazy, and they put my book up through the roof. So I took the book back. So this is the revised version of More Than Existing, and that's available. The other thing, I don't want the book to tip over. Before I do some cards, before I do some readings, yes, I am taking lots of time for me, Ellie. I went to the most incredible thing last weekend. We went to North Country Fair, and shout out to the organizers of North Country Fair in Driftpile. That event is the most amazing event I have attended. It is incredible. I highly recommend it. Love how it's organized. Loved everything about it. The music was incredible. But I got really, really sick. And so I've been really sick, and so I have a limited voice. So coming up soon and available to be able to purchase on the website will be the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards. This is my cards. After 3.5 years, these cards are now complete. Lisa was just here. And we pulled everything back and did everything ourselves as well again. Everything came from 3 different companies, amazing companies that we worked with, who helped us be able to get exactly what we wanted. And Lisa was just here, and we just put we just put 100 decks in the box. So we have 100 decks of these cards now available. So we only have 100 decks. I think we only have 98. We have 98 copies of the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards available right now. Lisa needs a few days. She's just driving back to BC. So it'll be a few days before you'll see this on the website. If you message me and you do an e-transfer and your address, I can slip you a copy in the mail. So, but do message me. Only in the next few days, and the rest will be on the website. So I'm just doing a little wink that we can get them to you, that I can get them to you a little bit faster if need be, but they are now available. So this is the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, and we're so excited to have them to you. So this is what we did. Originally, the book was very tiny, and the reason why you're seeing a big box, because I was not happy with a little box, is this is now the booklet to the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards. And so there is also going to be a program coming with this as well. So, this may be a bit of an offer opportunity as well, like coming up where the cards and the program will kind of be offered out, but the program won't start until September. There will be a class with these cards. The class will not start until September. It'll be another week or so before we get all that information on the website, but I'm just excited and I want to share them with you. And so, if you message me and you want to get your copy a little bit early, I can probably make something happen. Just saying. So now this is the booklet. It is big. It is printed large, and this is what it looks like. And so we fully have a deck of cards now available. And this is the cards, and the cards are 3x5. and the cards are 3x5. In the box, which I don't want to open because I just sealed them. In the box, each deck comes. They are personally wrapped. We have personally wrapped them with a beautiful ribbon. They all have a little rose on the top. So when you take off the tissue paper and open them, look down into your box before you yank them out. Look into your box. You'll see the little rose. There's a little rose on the top of every one, because to show you that they've all been personally packaged. So each and every box has been, all of these boxes, all of these cards have been infused with beautiful healing energy. My hands have touched every single deck of these cards. I have made sure to bless them. So all the cards have been blessed. They've all been cleared. They are not coming directly from a factory anywhere. They are coming directly from our homes. And so we are sending these out directly from our own homes. And they will be on Amazon as well, but we just got a lot of work to do to get them all the way out to you yet. But this is the cards. And this is the booklet. And I am so excited after all the work that has gone into this the past 3.5 years. This was worth the wait, worth the journey. And yeah, so now we have 2 decks of cards. So there will be a package offer as well, so that you can do the two books and the deck of cards for, I think it's going to be like $89.98 or something like that, somewhere around there. But the cards, I think the cards are $48. I think they're $48.22 for the cards, and that will include and I'll also be sending out the shipping. I'll cover the shipping there. So this is the cards. All right. This is all little details that I'm trying to share, that I'm sharing. So there could be little changes here and there with it, but just so excited that I just wanted to share it today. And yeah, and I don't want to open up the other box of cards to show you the insides, but they are all personally packaged. They're all done and created. And you never know, I may be doing some house parties. Who knows? Possibility that there could be some goddess house parties if organized, if there's a group of women wanting to buy a whole bunch of cards. So we only have about 98 decks now. We had 100, but we have about 98 decks of cards available. So it's going to be a limited amount as they come out. And yeah, everyday goddess. And these are from shadows to truth, inspiration to attitude. And they're made to be very simple for you to use. They're not complicated. I didn't overcomplicate anything. In the upright is inspiration. If your card comes out in reverse, that's attitude. And so everything will be written in the book for you as well. Even a little prayer that I put into the book for consecrating your own cards. So you consecrate your own cards, but each deck has been blessed. It's been infused with Reiki energy healing. My own oracle has been personally into all of this, and so yeah, and that's what we got for you. So let's start with energy. That's what we got. And there's still, like I said, you can still get the 20%. You can get the 20% discount offer on the emailed video readings until July the 15th. Before I lose my voice again, I'm going to just dig in here. So we are coming into some full moon energy. We have a shift. We're shifting in months here. Tomorrow is July the 1st. We're heading into, I just feel like we're diving deep into some really deep energy coming up. But this full moon also comes with hard work. Like this full moon has a Capricorn energy tied to it. We have the nodes that are switching. We have nodes that are going to be going into, I think it's North Node into Aries, South Node into Libra, and it's going to be there for a while. And so we have the turning of the nodes, the changing of the nodes that's happening. So there's just a lot, there's just a lot of energy that is taking place, and a lot of movement. And so as we move into this full moon energy, as we're coming up into this full moon energy, you may be feeling that change. If you're someone who runs on the cycles, and you can really feel the cycles and that 28 days, like the moon cycle, the lunar cycle, is that you may find yourself having to wait that 28 days to make choices and decisions. And that maybe you got to, maybe you need to slow down and just say, I don't need to rush. And it's the same thing. Like I've been feeling this panic, like, oh my God, summer's over. And I'm like, summer's just beginning, but it's been so nice. And so there is like this creeping in of, I don't want this to end. I feel like there's a really sweet, good energy with it in some areas, and I don't want it to end. I don't want it to go away. But that's not how it works. It's like once we start to step into a place of healing within ourselves and we start to get to this place of really knowing who we are, is that you start to connect to something. You start to connect to something more. You start to connect to something that is more solid within yourself. And so this healing journeys that we take, this journey that we take throughout life, and saying yes to ourselves and being willing, got to be willing to break up with the old version of yourself to begin something new. It's so, and it's so important sometimes to say that to ourselves, is that I'm willing to kind of break up with that version of myself, not be in that same energy with myself. Tell me, it's one truth. This truth that's always been one truth may not always be the truth that follows us through our whole lives. Our beliefs change, how we see the world change, our perspectives change, things we thought we wanted changed. All things change. And so there is that time to really look at ourselves and just say, am I really holding on? This is a good energy for this. Am I really holding on to a lot of this outdated version of myself that I just keep struggling with? And I keep wondering why can I not move on? Why can I not move forward? Or why is my life still the same? But what of yourself has outdated? What of that belief system? What of the habits? What do we keep repeating? What are we afraid, fearing change? That's a big one, huge. How many people say, I'm afraid of change? I fear change. I don't like change. I hate change. As much as people say, I fear change and I don't like change, change is always happening. And change is always happening to you, whether you like it or not, because your moments in your day keep going by. The day keeps changing. Every day you've changed. Every day you're a day older. You're not the same person you were the day before. So it's your perspective of change. It's the things that you hold on to. It's the things that create comfort. And sometimes we got to free ourselves of some of those comforts. And that's everywhere in the energy. Now, I haven't recorded the energy update for YouTube, and that will come out hopefully today. Depends. Everything is in depending on how long my voice lasts, because I had strep. I had strep throat. And so and an infection in my spine. And so it'll depend. Hopefully I'll get it out today. But it's, and so look, I'm just losing track. I'm like zipping around here. And so, yeah, so talking about change is that everything is changing. Energy is always changing, but there's a lot of familiarity, and there's a lot of things that become our remembering. What is my due north? What is my, what is it that I seek? What is it that I seek the most in life? And so when we tell ourselves we seek comfort, sometimes if you're open and if you become open and willing to explore the comfort, it may be unity. It may be unity. It may be connection. So you may be stagnant and stuck in that sense of being stuck with that word of change. I don't like change. Well, maybe you like community. Maybe you like unity. Maybe it's the language that you use and the word that you use, and that then gets you trapped. It's like this gets you trapped in this change stories. Whereas it may be about, I love to have a strong sense of community. So my values may be very strongly based around friendship and family. It may be around being available to the people that I love. It may be having a home base. It may be that this is my foundation. And so what is the foundation? And is the foundation strong? And is it able to sustain this self or this feeling that you always feel like, I feel like there's something more, but yet I can't move from here? And so this is a big part of what I do. I help us to really, truly get clear in the language that you use, because most times we're not even communicating to ourselves properly, or that our thoughts. So this energy we have right now is a strong energy of manifestation and for manifesting. And if your thoughts are negative, how do you and most of our thoughts tend to kind of be negative or self or judgmental. It just, that's kind of how we've been conditioned. And so if we want a really positive life, or we want to see positive changes, why do we go to the negative first? What do we fear? What is it that we fear the most by allowing ourselves to experience this joy and happiness? How many times do you see someone who's just naturally happy, like just always happy, and then someone says they get on my nerves because they're so happy? Why are they always so happy? That's not possible. Well, it kind of is. And it's not that they're always happy, is they realize that when things happen, things just happen, that they can't control it. And so they probably just don't hold on to the need to try to be in control. They don't try to control life. They don't try to, keep holding on out of fear something is going to happen. They're very aware that things are going to happen. Whether I spend every day sitting on the couch worrying about what's going to happen and wasting all the time of enjoying life, or I'm out living life, but life is going to happen with or without me. And so being able to catch your thought and be aware of your thought and filter through your thoughts and really start to pay attention. As I always say, if people stop paying attention to the world so much and stop looking at the world and start deep diving inward, it's amazing the things that will start to change in our lives. Okay, here's our first card. And we are using the brand new Everyday Goddess Oracle cards. Smoke and mirrors. Can't have a better card than these stories we tell ourselves, right? So the smoke and mirrors is the illusions. And so the veils of illusions are the stories that we create. It's the characters that we play. It's the masks we wear. It's all of those things. Is that we tell ourselves these stories and we believe it to be our truth. And I'm like, that's not really our truth. And so there's like, when you can dissect your own conversation with yourself and just ask yourself, how many times have I said that? How many times have I repeated that? How many times do I keep using that language, that word? Why am I always saying that to myself? Conversation we've just been having is about dreams. And it's like, oh, I never really dream of anything for myself. And I'm like, yeah, we do. But we often place expectations upon someone else to fulfill the things that we actually want in our lives, or we feel like we need in our lives. And then we don't think it's a dream, but it's still dreaming. It's still the wishes, but we expect that it comes from outside of ourselves. Everything happens from within ourselves, and we become the magnet. And so the smoke and mirrors is, standing before her is a woman in a red dress in the reflection, but standing before her is spirit. Standing before her is a soul. Standing before her is a cosmic heart. Standing before her is what she's yet to know. Standing before her is her authenticity. And so there's much more than what she's able to see. And that's where we get our body imaging and all of those things is from our thoughts. But whose thoughts are they? Whose thoughts are they? Are they really your thoughts? Or are they the thoughts of somebody else that were spoken over their lips, became words that then became, as Lisa Starr Francis says, spells onto you, and you got caught in the spell and believed it, right? And so these illusions are not really truths. And so smoke and mirrors is if we can break through the illusions and get to this real truth of what am I really? Who am I really? What do I value the most? What is important to me is first you got to find you. First you have to discover you. And so our most authentic sense of ourself is that sense of, so our soul self ties us into that desire, that need for us to be a part of community, for us to be intertwined. But we also have an authenticity, your thumbprint. So you're human. Your human is the only human like you. There is no other human like you. So what have you got to prove to anyone? If you're already authentically you and you're already unique, why do you need to do something that you think is different than someone else? There's always somebody doing something. There's always someone doing something that's very similar to you. But the authenticity and the uniqueness of you is in you. It is just that print. Nobody else has your thumbprint. Nobody else has your eyes, right? So nobody else can get into the codes or your design or your design destiny but you. So no one can ever take what is yours in that way. And that's the illusions, right? If I'm not super busy, somebody else is going to get there before me. Get where before you? Where are they getting before you? Where are they getting ahead of you? Your destiny is yours. And that once you can make peace with those aspects of self and you slow down and you breathe into you and you say, but only my authentic self can truly step into my life. Well, whose life am I living? Whose dreams am I living? Whose beliefs am I living? Whose thoughts am I living? What am I trying to run from, avoid, or be better than, or be greater than, right? As we do that in our parent story sometimes. Is we tell ourselves in the parent story, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to do better than my parents. Right? It's like, no, we're all going to do the best that we can do with what we have. And that's where and it's the changes that we make by recognizing the things that were stories and old beliefs and old patterns. And we break those cycles. But we have to look at what keeps being a repeat. And so this cycle, this energy that we have right now, really, truly, this moon energy, it says, be willing. You want to see the changes, you got to be willing to put the work in. It's that sense of, everything is being, the universe is reflecting back to you, saying, it's not my job, it's your job. And you have to do it. The moon is saying, just because I'm full, I'm not making you act the way you act. You're acting the way you're acting because of the stories you're telling yourself and the emotions and the emotional response that you're triggering because of what the mind is telling you. And so this is all on you. It's not on the moon. Yes, the tides change. Yes, we feel differently. Yes, that happens. But it emphasizes within ourselves where we need to put our focus, right? Where we need to put our focus. But the moon reflecting back at you, say, this is on you, not on me. The universe is now turning around saying, it's not on us. Don't blame the planets. Look at you. These are, you are the human. You are the one with emotions. You are the ones with the ability to react and respond. Nobody makes our choice for us but ourselves. As adults, right? We choose how we're going to feel. We choose that emotional response. We choose that belief we're going to believe. And we get tangled and caught into there. And we can change, we have the choice to change those stories, to plant new seeds, to bring those change and stop chasing our shadows need to be caught in the fears, the insecurities, and those type of things. Because it always leads us back to the habit that we don't want to be in. And this is the energy we have right now. And I hope that helps you somehow. And I really can't see any of the comments, or many of the comments coming in here, if there is any. This is a lunch hour, so it's definitely, and please feel free to share out this video. The videos are, my Facebook is back into not being seen. Because all the numbers that I can see that others can't see is, the algorithm. In the algorithm, I'm kind of being shadowed back again. So feel free to share these out. And it's because I'm probably not doing a lot of lives. Second card, Master Manipulator, Mavis. And so Mavis in the deck is one of the cards that may not appear to be sometimes most beautiful card in the deck, but she's one of the most powerful cards in the deck. And so Mavis, and where we are in this, so this represents body, because the first card would represent our mind. This card represents our body, and so our human self. And this is where we can be the bleeding heart. This is where we can get our heads in the cloud. This is where we can be stuck, or we can get ourselves like grounded and rooted. And so the Master Manipulator, Mavis, really truly is a card that calls up our ability to be a master manipulator. Because the more that we can tell ourselves a story, the more we can get ourselves tangled up, is the more that we can sometimes get lost. But notice all the hearts, right? And so sometimes when we're responding from emotions, responding from our hurt hearts, our stories, our bleeding heart, our martyr complex. And martyr is there can be a trauma response with a martyr complex is the need to be needed. And everyone needs me. I have to be everywhere. It's like, well, I have no time for me because everyone else takes up my time. Everyone else needs me. That's not true. You may be needed, you may be loved, but the only reason why you don't have time for you is because you don't make time for you, because you get yourself caught up in the stories and you become too busy or avoiding, right? All of our isms that we have. And so, creating that balance. And Mother Earth, sometimes, that love angry is that when you feel that sense of feeling agitated, irritated, frustrated, complaining, all of those things usually tie into some of the archetype of energy of our own behavior, because we are manipulating ourselves to respond, react, to victimize ourselves, so we can be a victim to our own story, and that we can give ourselves the rite of passage to not be available. And the universe is kind of, like I said, it's turning the mirror around and saying, you got to look deep, you got to put the work in, you got to recognize the shit that we do, the choices we make, and it's always up on us. We do it to ourselves. And so it's like, yeah, I may be busy, but where can I say no? And how many times do I say yes and then complain? How many people literally will say, you know what, I hate that I'm always on call, or I'm always getting called in, or everyone's always needing me, and I just want a day to myself, and nobody will give me a day to myself. And then you get the opportunity, and then somebody calls, says, hey, you know what, can you just go do this for me right now? I just need this done quickly. And you go, yeah, I can. And then you say yes, and then afterwards you feel your whole energy go whew, and then you're like, why did I just do that? And now I got to do this, and now there goes the time for myself. There was a simple solution. No. And then we justify that, yes, yeah, but they needed it, or yeah, but no. It could have been a no. Or it could have been, I can do it later. I already have a plan. I have a date with myself. And after I take this time for myself, then I can go do this. So there's a lot of spaces and moments, and a lot of stories, and a lot of words, and a lot of language, and a lot of things that can be really cleaned and cleared up right now in your lives that can really make a difference and make the change. And nobody wants to hear that stuff. And that's where people usually back away. If I'm not giving the fun stuff, if it's not the good stuff, then it's like, oh, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. That's no good to me. That's the things we need to do. And that's the stuff that I have personally done over the past few years to get to these points. And that's why these cards didn't come out 2 years ago. And that's why the books slowly come out. And that's why we just revised the other book. It's because it is the evolution. And it's about allowing ourselves to evolve. And so there's the evolution of the self. And the evolution of ourselves is so important, so that we don't get ourselves trapped and stuck into what once was. We're not living from the past, and we're not even living in the future. We become the power. There's so much power in our own presence being available in this very now. And it doesn't mean we stop helping or being of service. It's how we are of service. It's how we show up, so that we don't deplete our energy, so that we heal. Next card. diamond effects. So this is one of my programs actually as well. So this is spirit. So our first card was how I do them is, so this is the mind card. This is the body, because the cards are about coming into alignment with self. And there, like I said, there will be a class on this coming up in September, which will also be launching when we launch the full card. And the third card is spirit. And so this is diamond effects. And this is Christiana. And this beautiful card is that it's the effects. It's so through that crystalline, through that diamond energy, through that sense of reflection, that when we clean and clear up that energy, the prisms of light, one light, it's only one white light, and from one white light, it is the reflection of those colors. And so that we can truly be able to embody all of this light. So that is our, turning on those energy centers. It's opening up that energy centers, doing the healing work in those energy centers that are so crucial, because the aspects of our true innate identity, our true sense of self, is all in what we allow ourselves to discover and open up about ourselves, and get to know ourselves in the root of the truth, in the root of the stories, in the sacral, the solar plex, through the heart, through the throat, through the energy center of the throat, through the third eye, and through the crown energy center. And when all starts to work together and all aligns, then all starts to, you embody this. It all works together. Everything is a well-organized system, but it's like an outdated computer system. If you have the outdated computer system and you're wondering why it's slow and it's sluggish and it can't do what it used to do and it drags and it's all those things, it needs to be cleared out. You need a new system. And so it's about like the new system. And so the diamond effects to outgrowth effects, right? It's that one big change. It's the one big change we make for all the other changes, or all the little change for the big change, right? All the little tiny things that you start to do in life that lead to that future, that feeling, that truth, that place that you seek. And so there's such a divinity to that, and there's such divine energy to that. And that's what we call living from spirit, recognizing coming into relationships. So this card brings us into the beginning of the relationship, to spirit, to our soul, to getting to stop listening to the old thoughts and start listening to that deeper self, that higher self, that knowing. And I have 2 programs in this academy of diamond effects. It is a master class, and it's a level 1-2, and it's diamond effects healer program. And it is about healing. And it followed on the heels of the more than existing programs. And so if you can see, she's just a gray shadow of herself. She's just there. She's got no hair. She's got no face, because she doesn't have any mask. She's just the soul, the essence of our truth, our authenticity. And everything else becomes that creation of self. And this is all that we have happening right now. And so that we have that reflection turn around, we're moving into a deeper awareness of the importance of letting ourselves evolve through that. And, not waiting on somebody else, or waiting for the world to change, or waiting for things to get better, but just saying, today I'm choosing to look in at myself. Today I'm willing to be honest with myself, and becoming that brutally honest with myself, and looking deeper, and watching my own behavior, watching how I respond, and being in check with ourselves. And that's coming with this moon energy that we have. This is coming with Capricorn, and it's just saying, it's time to do the work. Time to do the work. And so there is some serious work that needs to be done, and not rushing and pushing beyond. Yeah. And so that's those 3 cards. And I'm going to finish with a different card. Lori, my mom's name was Mavis. Thank you for the card. Mom was a very strong person as well. Oh, that's so beautiful. And yeah, I'm like, I just, I did same thing. It's like those cards are created from people, like not from the person themselves, but just aspects of people I've met in my life who who were strong and in their conviction, and they were so loving and so caring, but yet they had no problem being honest and being truthful and just saying, you know what, I care for you, but you need to do this and this needs to happen, and saying no to you. And I just remember once in my life when I wasn't being honest with myself, and I was kind of not dealing with what I need to deal with. So materialism becomes an avoidance, right? So if you don't know your own worth and you're not caring for your own worth, then you spend, or you don't look at the future. You're so lost in your hurts and your pains, and you're just trying to fill the voids that you're just doing. And I remember having to ask for help, and the person that I asked actually said no to me. And I thought that was the cruelest thing ever. And now and it became one of my greatest teachers. And it made me stop in my tracks and go, ah, this was love. This wasn't to be cruel. It was for me to see where I was heading. And in that moment, I made a change. And in that moment, everything in my life started to change. And that's when I had been so I had doors had closed. I had gone through so much challenges in my life, and I was a new mom, and I was just I was I was hurting, and I was lost, and I was depressed, and I had postpartum, and I had all of those things, but that stuff didn't get treated back then. And nobody dealt with that. I did not know how to be a mom. I was doing the best that I could, but I knew one thing. I knew I loved my daughter, and I knew I had to care for her. And I found myself in that moment of that no, I found myself going newspaper shopping at the time. I seen this ad, and it was about a hairstyling instructor that was needed. And I'm like, I'm going for it. I'm applying for this. And I ended up having to close down my first business, my first shop, because I couldn't do it all. I was wore out, I was tired, and I was feeling like a failure. And I was angry at myself. And I didn't think I could be this. So my shadow was saying, you'll never get the job. You'll never be good enough. Who's going to babysit for you? Who's going to take care of your kid? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? And I'm like, I don't know. All I know is I'm doing this. I applied for it and I got it. I didn't even have a car to get to work. It was like an hour and a half drive to get to this job each way every day. Every day I would have to get there each way, but I didn't even have a car. I didn't even have that at the time. And I'm like, but I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I was a hairstyling instructor. I already taught at another college. Why wouldn't I be able to do this? I already owned a business. Why couldn't I? But I was 26, 27 years old. And I got that job, and I became a hairstyling instructor. I had to go to one of those credit loan places and take that 27% interest, and I got $6,000. And magically, this little Pontiac Firefly, purple, and the purple that's on the screen under Lori's comment is what's bringing this up for me. And that car became, and I got approved for this car for six. And I'm like, what am I going to get for $6,000? And I have this 27% interest. I couldn't even think about those things. All I knew was I knew one thing, that I was going to make it. I was going to do it. And happened to be this gentleman who had a secondhand car place, knew who he was. And he said, Corrie, I just had an elderly lady who just traded in her car. She's got to go into a home. It has 20,000 kilometers on it. It's a little purple Pontiac Firefly, and it's $6,000. And then I'm like, I'll take it. I got it home. It broke down. It needed a part that would have to come from China somewhere. It ended up back in the garage for 2 months waiting for this part. And no idea. I found people who were driving back and forth who I didn't know, who offered to carpool. And we started carpooling, and I traveled with them. My dad worked night shift to take care of my daughter so that he would stay up daytime so that I could take this job and I could go to work. We made it work. And that's life. That's the exact same kind of energy that we have right now. Sometimes you got to do the hard things. Sometimes somebody else has to have the courage. And that's where the Mavis card comes in for me, is sometimes you have the courage, because Mavis is not the master manipulator. It's our own mind. I could have turned that beautiful person in my life into a total enemy. I could have called her every name in the world, but she was my messenger. She was my angel, and she was my saving grace, because she was making me take a stand for myself. She knew that wasn't me. The me that was letting my life fall away was not me. And so many moments in my life like that became defining moments. And that's where you stand back up. And that's courage, right? And so the card is actually one of the most beautiful cards. And that's diamond effects as well. And so that's the diamond effects. You got to be the light. You got to turn your light on. You got to turn your light up. And you have to be the change. If you want to see the changes in your life, you want to see the rainbow, it's not the pot of gold. You want to see the rainbow, you got to be the light first. You got to turn that light on so that everything else in your life can begin to change, so that you become magnetic towards the things that are designed for you. For you, not for anyone else. Yours may never be like anyone else's. This is your life, and it's for you to do those things for yourself. And I don't know who needs to hear that story, or where that could seem the purple, and I see my little Pontiac Firefly. And I ended up driving that Pontiac Firefly even in between contracts. I drove that Pontiac Firefly across Canada twice. And when I traded it in, it had 495,000 kilometers on that little Pontiac Firefly when I actually traded it in to get my first brand new vehicle. And that was in Alberta. And so you just never know. But it requires the deep dive. And that's the energy we have again. And we just have this powerful force and this powerful energy of Mother Earth, of divine mother energies, to saying, it's your job. It's your job. We have the moon energy saying, it's your job. It's not anyone else's job. Nobody else is choosing for you. No one else is making you feel that way. Nobody can make you feel that way. It's what you turn on. It's what you ignite. It's what you light, and it's your light that is required in order to be able to get to your destiny, your truth. And yours don't have to be like anyone else's. And that's the power of the energy that we have right now. And I know I was going to give another card, and we haven't got there. I can feel my fever coming back on. So if I look like I'm sweating, it's my fever coming back. Desired reflection. Just can't make this shit up. Desired reflection. And this is Evangeline, and she's holding her own light. She's wearing the same red dress as Smoke and Mirrors. Is she the same girl as the Smoke and Mirror cards? That's now on the bottom after doing all the shuffling, right? Here was our first. Here was our next. And, and so she's here. She is here. She's looking into the mirrors. Mirrors never really tell a truth, because it's not even a truth, right? And so over here, she knows her truth. She's walking in her truth. Here's desired reflection. She is facing the direction of her body is moving towards her future. She's glancing over her shoulder, but she's not turning. She is still staying her way. She knows her light will guide her. She knows the most magnetic thing that she can do is to step back into her authentic self, to find that way, and then all else will follow. And that's our message for this weekend, coming into Canada Day, coming into this weekend. And not everybody celebrates Canada Day, and that is to be greatly appreciated. I am blended in diversity and love. I am Mi'kmaq First Nations as well, and so I honor whatever is right for whoever. And we are in a world where we should be able to be supportive of each other in whatever, and diversity, and be able to be connected. And so if you are celebrating Canada Day, then happy Canada Day. And if not, then I also stand with you as well. And I wear my colors with love and pride and truth. And that's what I got. That's what I got for you. Back to the beginning. If you missed the beginning, we did open up and show you my books and my cards. So these are now out. These are these are here. This is my Everyday Goddess Oracle cards. Within the next week or so, not right now, beautiful Lisa is now driving home. She just arrived with these books, and we just stuffed, we just put into boxes 100 decks of these cards. And we wrap them in love. We bless them. They are filled. They are prepared and ready to go. They're wrapped in beautiful ribbons. They all have a little individual rose on top of your deck of cards. So when you open the box, when you get these cards, you open the box, look down into your box. It is this kind of box. The cards, everyone who knows me in the big print. It's kind of our thing now. So the cards all have a big print, and it's a 5x7 book. There will be a class in September coming up for these as well. And so this is now going to be, keep watching for the updates. This will be available. In Canada, I can kind of get some cards out to people. Message me. You can do a trio pack. Also, you can buy all three. You can buy the cards, the books, from me. And so this is More Than Existing has been revised. More Than Existing is a new book now. So even if you've read it the first time, if you read it again, you're not reading the exact same book. There is changes in the book. We took it back. We revised it. We put it in bigger copy. It's a 300-page book now, and it has a new look. So if you're on Amazon and you see it, if it doesn't have this white and gold look at the top, it is not the right. It's not the right book. The old one should be taken down, but it's still up. So this is the copy you're looking for. But it's revised. So More Than Existing is back out. My Truth of Existing Beyond a Reflection is the second book. And now this is the Oracle cards. So all three ties together. All three goes into the story. And all three is a part of the journey. And we are still editing Wine and Chips. So there you go. That's what I got. And the summertime special on the emailed readings is still available. So if you go into the emailed readings, it's the emailed video readings. It'd be emailed out to you. Nothing leaves here on the weekend. So the earliest one now would be sent out again on Monday, all in order of when they come in. And it's 2, 3, or 5 card readings. And they, in the code, the coupon code is summertime in capital letters, 20%. And you can enter that in. It'll give you the discounted price. And you can purchase your emailed readings with me. And there is very limited availability for the summer's in-person session, or in-person. There's no in-person sessions. Online sessions, Zoom or phone sessions. Very limited availability. So if you want those, what I have available is posted. If there's something there that really doesn't work, you can message. I just can't guarantee that I can get you in. But that's what we have available. Much love. Have a beautiful weekend. And I will talk to you all again, hopefully next week. Hopefully this is all past, this fever, this strep throat. Hopefully all of this is all cleared up. And many beautiful things unfolding. Much love. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.